Welcome to InvestEd.
Welcome sa InvestEd. So today, we are going to discuss my top 3 conglomerate stocks. Okay, so yung criteria natin dito sa pag-review ay ang moat, management, and debt ratings na company, and also yung performance ng company. Okay, so yung mababanggit natin dito na stocks ay hindi to recommendations, bagkus ito lamang yung aking top conglomerates, stocks. And again, kung bago ka pa lang sa ating channel, so itong ating screener na nakikita nyo guys, ay ito'y binabahagi ko ng libre. So again, itong channel natin, ang focus lang nitong channel natin ay ang mga fundamentals ng mga company dito sa ating bansa. Okay? So kung ready na kayo, let's start and see you on the other side. First stocks natin ay ang company Costco Capital Incorporated. Okay? So kung nakikita natin dito yung current PE ratio ng company ay nasa 9.71%, while the market PE ratio ay nasa 14.3%. So sinasabi lang dito sa atin na PE ratio ng company ay nasa good value base ang company compare sa Philippine market. Okay, and last traded price ng company ay nasa 5.71 pesos per share, and yung intrinsic value natin sa company ay nasa 5.81. So, malapit na siya sa intrinsic value and above na siya sa ating margin of safety. Sinasabi sa atin dito ng margin of safety na nasa hold positions na ang company. Okay, so kung bago ka pa lang sa ating channel and ngayon mo pa lang itong nakita, yung margin of safety, ito yung buffer natin sa intrinsic value para makabili tayo ng sales sa company. So, kung yung current price ng company ay nasa margin of safety or below margin of safety, it is considered a buy rating sa loan in terms of intrinsic value. Okay? So, nakikita natin dito yung ratings natin nasa hold, and yung moat natin sa kanya ay nasa 8, management ay nasa 10, debt natin sa kanya ay nasa 9 also. So, overall, yung kanyang ratings ay nasa excellent company. So, mamaya i-diff tackle natin itong moat, management, and debt ratings na company. Meanwhile, tignan natin so tignan natin ngayon yung kanyang 1-year chart. Kung titignan natin dito guys, yung kanyang 1-year chart and yung 52-week high ay nasa 7, and yung kanyang 52-week high nasa 7.05 pesos per share, and yung kanyang 52-week low ay nasa 4.25 pesos per share. So, nakuha nila itong 4.25 pesos per share nung ay nagkaroon ng yung peak ng pandemic noong March. So doon nila nakuha yung 52-week low. Okay, and now currently ng time na ina-analyze natin itong company, yung kanya market capitalizations, okay, so yung value dito ay million. So ito ay nasa 40.3 billion pesos, So, ito yung kanyang current market capitalization. Now, kung titignan natin dito, yung kanyang dividend yield ay nasa 1.43%. So, nasa red yung kanyang dividend yield. So, sinasabi sa atin dito guys na nasa bottom 25% dividend payers itong company. And nakikita natin dito guys, yung net foreign yield ng company ay nasa negative 302.8 million for net foreign investors ang lumabas sa 1-year trade nitong company, And also nakita natin dito yung sectors ng company na sa holding a look sa kanya, yung kanya earnings per share versus free cash flow per share. Okay guys, so sinasabi lang dito sa atin na earnings per share versus free cash flow per share na the free cash flow per share of a company is a good value based on its earnings per share, Ay nakikita natin na mas malaki yung kanyang free cash flow per share. So nangangahulugan nito at sinasabi dito sa atin na mayroong file of cash ang company. So, pag mayroong file of cash ang company, the chances are pwede pang mag-improve ang company. So, nasa positive side tayo at ito yung gusto nating makita, Kapag nagre-review tayo ng stocks na mas malaki yung kanyang free cash flow per share kaysa sa earnings per share. Now, kung titignan natin yung kanyang free cash flow yield ay nasa 38%. So, sinasabi dito sa atin guys na yung company ay nasa solid company and in terms of free cash flow yield alone, nasa undervalue ang company in terms of free cash flow yield. Okay, so kung i-scroll down natin ito, no? Now let's compare naman yung free cash flow ng company for the past 5 years. So kung titignan natin, talagang solid yan, no? Yung kanyang free cash flow from 2015 to 2019, talagang solid. And ang kagandahan dito, over the years, continuous nag-grow yung kanilang free cash flow. That's a positive sign sa mga investors or potential investors ng company. Kung titignan natin dito yung moat analysis natin, no? So nakikita natin over the years talagang sobrang ganda niya kanyang moat. So sinasabi lang dito sa atin ng moat, and yung moat pala, no, ito yung popularized by Warren Buffett. So it refers to a business ability to maintain its competitive advantage over its competitor in order to protect its long-term profit from its competing firms, no? So sinasabi lang dito sa atin ng earnings per share, cash from operating activities, net income, book value per share, yung kanilang growth rate ay maganda. Okay? So yung pinakamababa nilang growth rate for the past 5 years ay yung kanilang book value per share nasa 17%. But yung 17% yan, that's a positive and very good growth rate, no? Now, let's compare yung kanilang management analysis. Kung titignan natin dito yung management ng company, yung return on invested capital and return on equity, nakikita natin over the years talagang sobrang ganda na kanilang ROIC and ROE. That's a very, very good and positive sign sa mga investors ng company. So, yung return on equity, sa mga hindi pa nakakalam, so sinasabi lang dito sa atin ng return on equity na kung gaano kagaling ang management to handle others people's money. Yung ROIC naman, so ito naman sinasabi lang sa atin dito ng company na kung gaano efficient ang company sa kanilang pera to produce profit from their businesses. So nakikita natin dito sa management analysis na vina-value ng company yung kanilang mga shareholders. That's a positive sign. Okay, now let's take a look sa kanilang debt. Okay, so nakita natin dito yung kanilang debt to earnings ratio. Ayan, from 2015 na nasa 1.9 to 2019 na nasa 2.7, no? So although ng 2018 and 2017 na sobrang laki ng kanilang debt to earnings, but in 2019 bumaba na ng 2.7. So anong ibig sabihin nito, no? So sinasabi sa atin dito, guys, ang debt to earnings ratio na umu-okay na yung kanilang debt. Ito lang iparating sa atin dito ng debt to earnings ratio. Gaano katagal mababayaran ng company yung kanyang long-term debt gamit lamang yung kanyang net income. So, 2.7 years nila kayang bayaran yung kanilang long-term debt gamit lamang yung kanilang net income. That's a positive sign. Kasi, ang gusto natin makita kapag nagre-review tayo ng stocks or nag-a-analyze, yung kanilang debt to earnings ratio ay nasa 3 pababa lang. So, dito nakikita natin na nasa 2.7 na lang. From 5.6 to 2.7, there's a very good and positive sign sa mga investors ng company. So, ibig sabihin, sinasabi dito na wala sila masyadong interest expense na nakinikater sa company. Okay, so let's dig deeper sa kanilang financial metrics. So, kung titignan natin dito, guys, yung kanilang PE ratio annually ay nasa 3.38 PE ratio, and the PE ratio in trailing 12 months ay nasa 9.71. Okay, so sinasabi lang dito ngayon na yung PE ratio ng company in trailing 12 months is a poor value based on its PE ratio compared sa kanyang annually na nasa 3.38 lang. Okay? So, let's take a look yung kanilang price to sales ratio in annually ay nasa 0.24, and yung price to sales ratio in trailing 12 months ay nasa 0.23. Okay, so medyo bumaba yung kanilang price to sales ratio in trailing 12 months, but hindi naman masyadong significantly na bumaba, no? Okay? And now, let's compare price to book ratio ng company compared to the price to book ratio ng company in quarterly. So, nakikita natin na yung price to book ratio annually ng company sa 0.56, while the price to book ratio ng company in quarterly ay nasa 0.47. So, nakikita also natin dito na bumababa yung kanyang price to book, but sinasabi sa atin dito ng price to book na nasa undervalue ang company in terms of price to book annually and quarterly. Okay, so kung titignan natin dito, yung kanyang dividend yield for the past 5 years average ay nasa 0.85%. Okay, so now yung kanyang trailing 12 months current dividend yield ay nasa 1.43%. So nakita natin na mas mataas pa yung dividend yield ngayon ng company compare sa kanilang average 5-year dividend yield. That's a positive sign also, no? And mas mataas pa rin yung kanilang dividend yield kaysa sa kanilang 5 years average. Now, let's take a look sa kanilang financial strength. Kung titignan natin dito yung free cash flow ng company annually ay nasa 11.9 billion pesos. And comparing to the free cash flow ng company in trailing 12 months na nasa 11 billion pesos yung kanyang free cash flow in trailing 12 months. So nakikita natin dito na medyo bumaba yung kanilang free cash flow but not significantly, no? Okay, so that's a positive sign also, no, na positive pa rin yung kanilang free cash flow. Now, let's compare current ratio ng company annually and current ratio in quarterly. Nakikita natin dito yung current ratio ng company annually ay nasa 3.45, while the current ratio in quarterly ay nasa 5.41. So that's a positive sign na nag-grow yung kanilang current ratio. So, ang ibig sabihin ng current ratio, guys, sa mga bago pa lang sa pag-i-invest, ang ibig sabihin nito, 5.41 times kanilang punan, okay, yung kanyang current liabilities gamit yung kanyang current assets. So, nakikita natin, no? So, maganda tignan niya kasi nag-i-improve yung kanilang current ratio quarterly versus sa kanilang current ratio annually. Sinasabi lang dito sa atin na wala silang liquidity problem in the next year. And also guys, sa mga hindi pa nakakaalam, yung ibig sabihin ng current assets, ito yung assets na company na kaya niyang i-liquidate into cash within a year. While yung current liabilities naman, ito naman yung obligations ng company within a year. Okay? So nakikita natin dito, yung payout ratio ng company nasa 4.82% lang. So, i-compare natin siya yung payout ratio ng company to the payout ratio in trailing 12 months na nasa 13.93. So, nakikita natin na tumataas yung kanilang payout ratio in trailing 12 months. So, sinasabi na sa atin dito guys, ang payout ratio in trailing 12 months na 13.93% na kanilang earnings ay binibigay nila sa dividendo. Okay? So, same lang din siya doon sa payout ratio annually. Now, let's take a look sa kanilang debt to equity ratio. Nakikita natin annually, yung kanilang debt to equity ratio ay nasa 46.81%, while comparing to the total debt to equity ratio in quarterly ay nasa 59.18% na. So nakikita natin na nag-grow yung kanilang debt to equity ratio. So, ito lang yung ngayon, no, negative side sa kanya kasi nag-grow yung kanyang debt to equity ratio. Kasi sinasabi lang dito sa atin guys na in every 1 peso na ginagamit ng company sa kanyang operations, okay, 59.18% noon ay financed by utang. So, medyo malaki yan, no? Kasi gusto lang natin makita kapag nag-review tayo ng stocks ay nasa 40% pababa lang yung kanyang debt to equity ratio. But in this case, nasa 46 and 59 yung kanyang debt to equity ratio. So, ito yung negative ngayon kay Costco, no? Okay, now, so let's take a look sa kanilang margin. Nakikita natin dito yung margin ng company ay nasa 18% and comparing to the margin ng company in trailing 12 months ay nasa 17.64%. So, medyo bumaba yung kanilang gross margin but still nasa 17.64% pa rin. That's a positive sign pa rin sa company. Now, let's compare net profit margin ng company annually and trailing 12 months. Nakikita natin na annually nasa 9.27% yung kanilang net profit margin and now in trailing 12 months na nasa 4.21% na lang. So nakikita natin na significantly bumaba yung kanilang net profit margin. Okay, so sinasabi lang dito guys sa atin na net profit margin. So, sinasabi lang dito sa atin guys na in every 1 peso na sales ng company, magkano ba ang tubo ng company? So, in annually, ang tubo nila ay nasa 9.27%. In trailing 12 months, yung current data ay nasa 4.21%. Okay? So, yung operating margins ng company ay nasa 8.44%. In trailing 12 months ay nasa 8.28%. So nakikita natin na medyo bumaba din also yung kanilang operating margin. Okay, so guys, in addition sa kanilang financials, so nakikita natin dito yung kanilang big 5 numbers. Nakikita natin na yung kanilang ROIC ay nasa 4%, sales ay nasa 7%, earnings per share ay nasa 21%, equity ay nasa 8%, free cash flow ay nasa 34%. So nakikita natin no, na yung Big 5 ay gusto kasi natin makita sa Big 5 ay nasa 10% pataas yung kanilang mga growth rate. But still, yung earnings per share and free cash flow per share talagang nag-massive growth ang company. The income statement ng company nun, yung kanilang total revenue and net income comparison. So nakikita natin over the years nag-grow yung kanilang net income and likewise sa kanilang revenue. And let's compare total assets and total debt. Nakikita natin na sobrang laki pa rin ang difference. That's a positive sign na mas malaki pa rin yung total assets. Magtataka tayo kapag yung total debt ay malapit na sa total assets. So, doon na tayo magsiyasat kung ano nangyayari na. And kung titignan natin dito yung free cash flow ng company for the past 5 years, talagang nag-grow din also yung kanilang free cash flow sa mga investors. Okay, so in addition sa company, nakikita natin dito guys, yung value natin sa company ngayon, sa Snowflake's analysis natin, nasa overvalue tayo sa kanya. In terms of dividend, ay nasa medium or low level dividend yield ang company. And moat ay nasa average yung company, no? While the management ay nasa excellent, balance sheet ay nasa excellent naman. So now, nasa hold positions tayo sa kanya in terms of Snowflake analysis. Okay, so again guys, so bago tayo magpatuloy sa ating pagre-review ng stocks, so kung gusto nyo magamit itong ating screener, nasa baba yung descriptions ng ating screener para magamit nyo ito. And kung gusto nyo magamit ito at kung paano ito gamitin, so tapusin nyo ito guys hanggang dulo kasi doon natin ilalagay yung walkthrough ng company, yung walkthrough ng ating screener kung paano ito ginagamit. Okay? Para magkaroon kayo ng idea kung paano ito ginagamit. So, back to the topic tayo. Yung susunod nating stocks na re-reviewin, yung ating top 3 conglomerate stocks ay nakuha na natin si Costco. Yung pangalawa ay ang company LTG, LT Group Incorporated. So, kung gusto mapanood yung full, yung analysis natin sa kanya in year to year, so, nasa video natin, no? Kaya kung nakikita natin dito guys, yung current PE ratio ng company nasa 5.95 PE ratio. Yung future PE ratio ng company nasa 6.72 and market PE ratio ay nasa 14.3. So sinasabi lang dito sa atin guys ng PE ratio na nasa good value base ang company in terms of PE ratio to the future and market PE ratio. Okay? So nakikita natin dito guys yung intrinsic value ng company natin ay nasa 34.73. That's a high valuations ngayon sa company, no? And yung ating margin of safety ay nasa 27.78. So, meron tayong upside potential 157% kapag na-reach na yung ating intrinsic value, and ratings natin nasa buy ratings tayo sa kanya. Now, in terms of moat management and debt ratings, talagang nasa excellent categories itong company naman, no? So, let's compare naman yung kanyang 1-year chart ay nasa 1-year chart 52-week high ay nasa 13.88 while the 52-week low ay nasa 5.5 pesos per share. Eh, nakikita natin dito guys yung kanyang dividend yield ay nasa 1.1%. So, sinasabi lang dito sa atin na nasa bottom 25% dividend payers itong company, no, na ina-analyze natin. Now let's take a look sa kanyang net foreign yield in 1 year trading ng company. So nakikita natin dito, yung mga foreign investors ay naglabas sa kanilang investment ng 1.3 billion pesos na investment sa company. Okay? So kung titignan naman natin yung kanyang earnings per share versus free cash flow per share sa company, nakikita natin na mas malaki yung free cash flow per share. So nangangahulugan yon and nasa positive side tayo sa kanya, no? So mayroong pile of cash meron ng company. And in terms of free cash flow yield naman, na sinasabi sa atin dito guys ng free cash flow yield alone na undervalue ang company in terms of free cash flow yield and nasa solid business ang company. Overall, in summary na kanyang free cash flow earnings per share versus free cash flow per share, so sinasabi lang dito na mayroong file of cash meron ng company. Okay na, so let's take a look sa kanyang free cash flow. Nakikita natin na may negative yung kanyang free cash flow from 2015 and 2017. But over the years, nag-grow na yung kanilang free cash flow. That's a positive sign sa mga investors ng company na to, no? So ngayon yung free cash flow ng company in 2019 ay nasa 44.5 billion pesos na yung kanilang free cash flow. That's a positive sign. Okay na, so let's take a look yung moat analysis ng company. So over the years talagang maganda yung kanilang free cash flow na pinapakita sa company. Now, yung management naman ng company, tinignan natin, no? Over the years talaga nag-grow ang company. Saka ROIC and ROE na company talaga nag-grow. So, sinasabi lang dito sa atin na vina-value ng company yung mga shareholders ng company. And kung titignan natin dito yung debt to earnings ratio ng company, no? So, from 2015 nasa 4.6 and in 2019 na nasa 3.3 debt to earnings ratio na lang ang company. So, sinasabi lang dito sa atin guys ng debt to earnings na 3.3 years nila kayang bayaran yung kanilang long-term debt gamit lamang yung kanyang net income. So, medyo mataas ng kaunti but still manageable naman yung kanilang long-term debt. No? So, medyo may interest expense na kinikater itong company. So, kung titignan natin dito yung free per share na company, yung PE ratio ng company annually ay nasa 6.32 annually. And yung PE ratio ng company in trailing 12 months ay nasa 5.95. So, sinasabi lang dito sa atin na nasa good value base ang company in terms of PE ratio. And yung price to book ratio ng company annually versus quarterly, nakikita natin na nasa undervalue pa rin ng company in terms of price to book ratio, no? Now, yung titignan natin yung free cash flow ng company in annually ay nasa 41.2 billion pesos and now in trailing 12 months na nasa 8.7 billion pesos na lang. So, nakikita natin na significantly bumaba yung kanyang free cash flow in trailing 12 months. Okay, so kung gusto mag-invest sa company nito kay LTG, so tignan nyo yung kanyang report, yung quarter to quarter. Okay, kasi baka may binibuild sila o may ginagawa silang project, kaya bumaba yung kanilang free cash flow, no? So, tignan nyo na lang yung kanilang quarter to quarter na report. Okay, so ngayon, titignan natin yung current ratio ng company annually ay nasa 0.6. And let's compare current ratio ng company in quarterly. No? Nakikita natin dito yung quarterly ng company ay nasa 0.69. So, nakikita natin na tumaas naman ng kahit papano yung kanilang quarterly current ratio. No? But still, nasa red flag pa rin itong current ratio ng company. No? Now, let's take a look yung kanilang PE ratio o yung payout ratio ng company. So, nasa 7.2% na lang. So, nasa 7.2% yung kanilang payout ratio. And now, no, in trailing 12 months, yung payout ratio ng company nasa 6.6%. So, nakikita natin na bumababa yung kanilang payout ratio. And also, kung titignan natin dito, yung debt to equity ratio ng company annually ay nasa 71%. And comparing to the debt to equity ratio in quarterly na nasa 63.44%. So, nakikita natin na bumababa yung kanilang debt to equity ratio. No? That's a positive sign sa company, no? Na bumababa yung kanilang debt to equity ratio in quarterly compared sa annually. But, yung 63.44% na yan, that's a high debt to equity ratio. Remember, ang gusto lang natin makita ay nasa 40% pababa lang. Okay? Now, kung titignan natin yung margin ng company, yung gross margin annually ay nasa 44.45%. Comparing to the trailing 12 months na company, nasa 48.27%. So nakikita natin dito na tumataas yung kanilang gross margin in trailing 12 months. That's a positive sign sa mga investors na company. Now, comparing to the net profit margin ng company annually, ay nasa 29.25% yung kanilang net profit margin. And yung net profit margin ng company in trailing 12 months ay nasa 29.23%. So nakikita natin na medyo bumaba lang ng 0.% but still yung 29.23% na yan, that's a high net profit margin. Okay, so kung gusto nyo explore pa yung ibang metrics na company, so pwede nyo naman siyang explore dito. Kung may metrics pa kayong ginagamit sa pagre-review, so search nyo lang dito sa search stocks and sa mga metrics natin dito na andito na rin. Okay? So in addition, pag pinindot natin itong financials, makikita natin dito yung big 5 numbers na company, no? So nakikita natin dito, majority ng big 5 numbers ay nasa green, no? Yung ROIC, sales, earnings per share, but yung equity ay nasa 8% lang. But still, malapit na rin siya doon sa 10% na growth rates na gusto natin makita, no? So yung growth rates na to ay for the past 5 years growth rates ng company. Now, kung titignan natin yung free cash flow ng company ay nasa it's either dalawa nangyari dyan, no? Yung growth rate ng company from 2015 ay negative and nagkaroon ng positive in 2019, or positive yung kanilang free cash flow in 2015 and nagkaroon ng negative in 2019. Now, let's take a look sa kanilang free cash flow. Okay, so titignan natin truly na negative yung kanilang free cash flow in 2015. And in 2019, nag-positive na, no? Nagkaroon na ng 44.5 free cash flow ang company in 2019. That's a positive sign also, no, sa company. So nakikita natin majority ng big 5 numbers ay nasa green. That's a positive side sa mga investors and potential investors na company. Okay? So overall, yung ratings natin sa kanya ay nasa buy, no? Yung value natin sa kanya in terms of Snowflake analysis ay nasa undervalue. Yung moat ay nasa strong, management ay nasa excellent, while the debt ay nasa excellent balance sheet ng company. And yung kanyang dividend ay nasa medium or low level of dividend yield ng company. Okay? So, ito yung ating second top conglomerate stocks. Okay? Kasi yung last na yung last but not the least ay ang company Ayala Land Logistics Holdings, no? So, ito ay na-review lang natin, no, nakaraan. So, hindi na natin to papahabain pa. So, okay. Kung titignan natin dito, yung intrinsic value ng company ay nasa 6.58, while yung ating upside potential ay nasa 114%, and yung ating buy ratings ay nasa buy ratings tayo sa company, no? Kung titignan natin dito, guys, yung kanyang moat ay nasa 9, management ay nasa 7, debt ay nasa 10. No? So, overall, also nasa excellent itong company. Now, kung titignan natin dito, guys, yung kanyang 52-week high ay nasa 3.44, while the 52-week low ay nasa 1 pesos per share. And meron silang market capitalizations na 19.19 billion market capitalizations. And also, sinasabi lang dito sa atin ng earnings per share versus free cash flow per share na nasa good value based ang free cash flow per share on its earnings per share, no? So, nakita natin dito naman yung kanyang net foreign investors or investment in the 1 year time ay nasa 71.8 million pesos ang pumasok na investors ng mga foreigners sa company na to, no? Okay, now let's take a look sa kanyang free cash flow for the past 5 years. So nakikita natin, no, na from 2015 to 2017 negative yung kanyang free cash flow, and in 2018 to 2019 talagang nag-positive na yung kanyang free cash flow. Okay? So that's a good sign and it is a turnaround company. Okay, so let's take a look yung kanyang moat. Ayan, nakita natin, no, na nasa good moat naman na company. Okay, so yung return on invested capital and ROE na company, so nakita natin na okay, so nasa average naman yung kanyang return on equity, no? Ayan. While the debt to earnings ratio na company sa 2.9, so 2.9 years kanilang punan or bayaran yung kanyang long-term debt gamit lamang yung kanyang net income, no? So, okay pa rin yan. Okay, so let's compare yung kanyang current ratio. Nakikita natin na yung kanyang current ratio annually nasa 1.18 compared to the current ratio in quarterly nasa 1.27. So, nakikita natin na mas mataas pa rin yung mas tumataas yung kanyang current ratio in a quarterly basis. So, it's a positive sign, no, na tumataas yung kanyang current ratio. So, tumataas yung kanyang current assets kaysa sa kanyang current liabilities. Kung titignan natin yung payout ratio ng company, nasa 0. So, in terms of dividend yield or dividend, hindi nyo ito maaasahan na company, hindi nyo ito maaasahan sa pagdating sa dividendo, no? So, more on capital gain itong company. Now, let's take a look sa kanilang debt to equity. Nakikita natin annually ay nasa 15.67%. Comparing to the debt to equity na company in a quarterly, nakikita natin na sa 15.29. Also, tumataas yung kanilang debt to equity but not significantly, no? So, nasa good side pa rin naman ang kanilang debt to equity. Remember, ang gusto lang natin makita kapag nagre-review tayo ng stocks, yung kanilang debt to equity ay nasa 40% pababa lang. So, which in this case, nasa 15 lang. That's a positive sign pa rin naman sa mga investors ng company. But, kung titignan natin free cash flow comparison, yung kanyang annually nasa 676.92 million pesos free cash flow, and comparing to the trailing 12-month free cash flow ng company, nakikita natin dito na nasa 63 million na lang yung kanilang trailing 12 months free cash flow. So that's ito lang yung medyo bumaba or nag-shrink down yung kanilang free cash flow, no. So kung gusto niyo mapanood ay kung gusto niyo makita, no, yung bakit nagkaroon ng massive drop down yung kanilang free cash flow or nag-shrink down yung kanilang free cash flow. So tingnan niyo yung kanilang quarter to quarter na reports para malaman nyo kung bakit nag-shrink down yung kanilang free cash flow and bakit bumaba yung kanilang free cash flow. So overall, okay pa rin naman na company. So nakikita natin dito yung margin ng company, no, over the years. Nakikita natin dito yung margin ng company in trailing 12 months, nag-grow pa rin, and yung net profit margin ng company nag-shrink down lang ngayong trailing 12 months, no. So nasa 12% annually ang kanya net profit margin, and in trailing 12 months nasa 7.21% na lang. Okay? Okay, so in addition sa kanyang Big 5, nakikita natin over the years, talagang majority or all of the Big 5 ay nasa excellent yung kanyang Big 5 numbers, no? Over the past 5 years, so kanyang ROIC to free cash flow talagang significantly nag-grow. Nakikita natin 64, 39%, 58%, equity ay nasa 29%, free cash flow ay nasa 9. Pero kung titignan natin dito yung kanyang free cash flow over the years, from negative to positive. That's a positive sign sa mga investors company. Okay na, kung titignan natin dito yung snowflake analysis na company, yung value ng company ay nasa very undervalue ang company. In terms of moat, nasa strong moat ang company. In terms of management, nasa medium ang company, while the debt ng company ay nasa excellent balance sheet ang company. And in terms of dividend, hindi natin siya maasahan sa dividendo, no? So overall, nasa buy ratings tayo sa kanya in terms of snowflake analysis. So, okay guys, so this is my top 3 conglomerate stocks, no, for 2020. So sana may natutunan kayo at may nafulot kayong informations and value sa pagre-review natin sa mga companies, no. So asahan nyo guys na marami pang videos na kagaya nito ang parating. So maraming salamat sa inyo guys, and as always, invest wisely and see you on the other side. Hello guys, maraming salamat sa panonood. Sana marami kayo natutunan sa video na to. So kung hindi pa kayo nakaka-subscribe, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell para updated kayo sa mga videos na parating at marami pa kayong matututunan sa channel na ito. So, maraming salamat!